My friend, in this life, we can only ping. The pong belongs to the other.
Hello, my friend. My name is Ani Castillo, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about my book, Ping. When I wrote Ping, originally, I thought about it as a philosophy book. I worked as a newspaper cartoonist for 15 years in Mexico and in Canada. And when you work in the newspaper as a cartoonist, you are thinking about, I'm gonna create something that can be read by little children to like really old people. I see Ping as a book, but it's also a tool. And it's a tool that I basically created myself, for myself, just to be able to live my life more bravely, because I was always a little bit shy growing up. But when I came to Canada, that shyness became so incredibly unbearable. When you immigrate, you have to be reborn from scratch. Exciting, very exciting, but very challenging. I was just feeling like a fish out of water, on top of not being able to speak the language, on top of having my shyness, which became huge. It got so terribly bad that at some point I couldn't speak at all, and I couldn't even, when I went to the store and I paid, I couldn't even say thank you. I was just like, thank you. Because I was just so scared of people's reaction, or judging me, or judging my English, or judging my accent. All of that had like a huge impact in my life and in my identity and in my self-esteem. So I became so quiet, and I didn't want to draw, and I didn't want to go out, and I couldn't make friends. So then what I thought is like, I need to get some help. So what I did is I went and I looked for therapy. And in therapy, they call my shyness social anxiety, which is basically people who are terribly shy, and they hate it and they suffer from it. It's very interesting. When you have social anxiety, it seems like you don't like people, but it's basically you're scared that people don't like you, which is very different.
Through therapy, and just by pushing myself really hard, I learned, or more like I remembered, how I used to be in the past. I learned how to think differently. I learned how to think differently about myself and about the world. I learned how to put myself out there, not just in person, but also in my art. I learned how to be braver and how to let my voice come out. And most importantly, for me at the very least, I learned how to make friends all over again.
I created this tool that I told myself that you can only ping. The pong belongs to the other person. People are gonna respond according to their capacities.
Sometimes the pong will give us something that we really wanted, and it will make us smile. But sometimes the pong will be something that we really didn't want to get. Sometimes the pong will make us sad. And in those moments, we can at least have the satisfaction of knowing that we tried, knowing that we were brave, knowing that we put our heart out there, our intention. And that's what matters.
Ping is a direct result of all those experiences and all the things that I learned along the way. I honestly really believe that Ping is a ping. When I wrote it, I started pitching it to like publishers and agents, and they were like, reject. I got rejected like dozens and dozens and dozens of times. I would tell myself, Ani, you can only ping. I was like, this message needs to be out there. And I'm gonna go to the street and scream about it because I think it's a very important thing to know, because it liberated me of so much pressure and I wanted to give it to all my fellow humans. Luckily, my book got bought by a very cool publisher in New York that is called Little Brown. Estas son las mañanitas que cantaba el rey David. Bonitos se las cantamos a Pink. And my editor is a really cool lady, Megan Tingley, who is like amazing. She edited Twilight, in case maybe you've heard of these famous vampires. They took the risk of taking a book so different from anything else, and everybody started pinging with me for Ping, and I'm just so grateful. When people read Ping, what I want people to realize is that we are so much freer than what we usually believe we are. I think a lot of the time we put on ourselves the pressure of controlling whatever reaction we're gonna get back from our actions. And the reality is that we cannot possibly control how people are gonna react to what we do. We can only create art, and we cannot control how people are gonna receive it. The receiving part and the responding, it's up to them. And we can only love somebody, and we can only give them our heart. We cannot control if we're gonna be loved back in the way that we want it or we need it. We can only put our love out there. We can only put our intention. When we decide to live our lives in any way that we decide to live our lives, we can only put it out there, and then life decides how it's gonna respond back to us. We can only ping, and that's why I think this book is for everybody. It's for somebody getting married, because we can only ping, we can only try, we can only give our best, we can only apply for a job, we can only send a text to somebody we like, we can only say I love you to somebody we don't know what's gonna come back. But that is really liberating when we basically free ourselves to ping and to say, this is what I want, this is what I mean, this is what I intend, this is what I want to create, this is what I want to have, this is what I need, this is what I want the world to be like, these are my intentions for my existence in this planet while I'm alive. This is what I'm going to do with my life. That's all we can do. We can only ping, and we can ping at all ages. And it could help your mom, it could help your dad, it could help your grandpa, your brother, your sister, your child, your uncle, your neighbor, your plumber, everybody. Every message that we can get that is positive and that is hopeful and that we can have something good from is worth sharing. Something that I think, a message that is deep embedded into the book, is that I want you to remember that there is only one of you. No matter how many generations of people are going to be born in the future, how many generations of like thousands and gazillions of people have been born in the past, there is never ever going to be one exactly like you. And that makes you really special. And I want you to feel free to let your spirit shine at its brightest. And I want you to feel free to send your love out into the world, because this world needs you. And yes, just keep pinging with all your love and all your heart. And I'm sending you lots of love. I'm Ani Castillo, and this is my book, Ping. Thank you. Thank you so much.